Taking the dive when it comes to your career, that's what Tiow Aun did when he insisted on pursuing a marine biology degree so that he could land his dream job. Was it a difficult decision for you to actually want to become a marine biologist in the first place?
You can say so, yeah, because of the misconception of the older generation, especially my parents and my siblings. For them, when I told them I decided to become a marine biologist, they will ask, why don't you become a banker instead of this? Yeah. So it takes some time for them to accept. Yeah.
So what was your answer to them when they asked you that?
I like what I do. Yeah, and they accept it. In Singapore, you don't have a degree in marine biology offered by any of the university. So there's not many marine biologists around to say. More people will go for other normal jobs rather than these niche jobs.
In Singapore, I guess, SMU doesn't do biology. NTU does. But in Singapore, you will not have a specialized course for marine biology or zoology. You would have to go overseas for it. So what you would do in, say, NUS would be a general science degree, specializing in biology, and this includes both the components of zoology and marine biology. So the very hardcore students who want to pursue this further, they will end up doing a higher degree either here or overseas.
Would you say it is in demand, or there are more people than there are jobs?
There's still more people than there are jobs.
Have you ever wondered, that you would rather be a banker for job security rather than be something so specific and be worried about what your parents think, be worried about your future and all that when you first decided to become a marine biologist?
As long as I'm happy with what I do and I know what I'm doing, so I guess it will be fine for me.
Now that it's the recession, do you find that students tend to go for more generic courses, like business, liberal arts, instead of such specialized degrees?
I guess the science people always came to science. So we don't really see a drop because of recession, or maybe it's too early. Maybe next year we'll have more students. But I don't think so, because the people who have come to biology or come to science have always have some kind of inclination or interest, and amongst them is a core which are very passionate about the subject, and that has not changed in 2 decades.
In terms of student intake, is there a dip in numbers, or it has maintained throughout the years?
In the past few years, for biology majors, the number has been relatively constant. We've seen, of course, a great rise in the life sciences several years ago. That was because it was at the height of its promotion. But the life science are the more molecular areas of biology. So that we've seen a great rise. And of course there will be a gentle drop now after its peak. But for biology, it's more or less remaining constant. There are also companies that are conducting what we call environmental impact assessment studies. So wherever there's development, they go in to try and assess whether there are critical areas that should be spared development, or measures that could be taken to minimize impact, and they employ biologists as well. There's a lot more ecotourism opportunities, specialized education companies that deal with taking people out to students out to nature sites. So the number of people in related jobs has increased dramatically. It's much better now for them.